Okay, this is one of these videos where I have no plans about what I'm going to say, but you can try to talk. We could try to figure out something along the way. Generally, words just come. It's not planned. It's not scripted. Once in a while, I like to share things from other traditions. Even though I am a loyal Jew, I'm not, going to convert to another religion. But I spend a lot of time in interfaith work. That's my main work, really. Although I try to dedicate as much time as possible to learning. Baruch Hashem, I was zocheh to be Messiah Shas. Those who understand Yiddish, in my previous video, they could listen to the speech I gave at the Siyum. It was a very beautiful event. Was a big schus to make the Siyum together with the Kalaver Rebbe Shlita, and the Kaddish after the Siyum was actually made by Vishnitzer Rebbe. It was in the memory of the old Ramatla Vishnitzer. Big schus. And it was a very special, emotional event. Well, it was very nice. A lot of my friends came to be there. And got to spend time with old friends I haven't seen in a while. The interesting thing is that very same day, in the institution where I work, I'm not going to name names or anything, but we are one of the few in the state where I work that I'm the head chaplain in the institution where I work, and of those institutions, of which there are many in the state, well over 30, maybe close to 40, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly the number. Most of them, the vast majority of them, I would say 90% of them have, or if not more, have at least one, if not more, openings in the chaplaincy department. And it's a great accomplishment, I'm saying, which I recognize as all min hashamayim. It's nothing that I did, because I tried to put in a lot of effort, and it was exactly the opposite of the efforts that I tried to put in. It all came together, and I give Shevach V'Yidoya to Kadosh Baruch Hu for that we have no openings in chaplaincy. All of our positions are filled, and so the last position, there were 2 openings when I came, and thankfully the other people we have, they plan to stay, and the 2 openings were, one was a Protestant chaplain. You would think that would be the easiest thing to find, and the other one was a Native American chaplain, which was indeed a lot of work. I like to think about how, this week was the yard site of Emunah David from Shidlovtze. I was saying who wants to be there in Shidlovtze by his kever many years ago, shortly after the oil there was rebuilt, was rediscovered. I think I've told the story elsewhere in other videos of Emunah David from Shidlovtze, how the current Rebbe of Shidlovtze, who I have a shaykhus with, was zeicha to discover where the kever had been lost for many years, the grave that had been lost for many years, and to build a new mausoleum over the grave, as is traditional for Hasidic Rebbes. I believe it was Reb Nosson David of Shidlovtze who wrote this, or who, the teaching is said in his name, that one of the reasons we eat fish on Shabbos is to teach us Emunah, to teach us faith, which Shabbos, Sabbath, the whole Indian of faith of letting go and letting God, essentially. And that's what the day is all about. We can't do anything. So it's totally a day dedicated to faith. And so the first course of every meal on the Sabbath is fish. And the many, many ideas about the fish. So I believe it was Reb Nosson David Shidlovtza who said that fish, if you catch a fish and you saw that it ate another fish and it hadn't been digested yet, you open it up, you find the little fish inside the stomach of the big fish. More often than not, oh, there's a beautiful buck deer. There's so many Mars today. I saw 2 bald eagles in the same day. 3 different, shouldn't say rainbows, shouldn't be Lashon Hara, and but wasn't 2 of them weren't the full Isa Keshes, it was only partial, so I guess that's not supposed to look also. And then now a buck deer, things you don't see every day. We're thankful to Kodesh Baruch Hu for that hanoah, that enjoyment. And so generally when you open up the fish, you find the little fish in the stomach is facing toward the tail of the big fish. And you imagine fish, when they're chasing after fish, they're trying to catch a fish that's running away from it, so it should go tail first. And so the lesson is that, you know, sometimes you're trying to catch something, you're chasing after something, and while you're in the process of chasing after it, and you wouldn't have caught the other thing if you weren't chasing the first thing. You're never going to catch that thing you're chasing after, but the other one comes in out of nowhere that you weren't expecting, and that's the one you were supposed to get, you know. And so too, you know, I emailed various churches. We're looking for a Protestant minister. Didn't work out. It was very difficult to find a Native American chief. You know, you would find names and they didn't have emails, or they have emails, they don't answer the emails, they don't have phone numbers, they don't have anything, you can't contact these people. And now we have, after putting in all that work, we have both of those positions filled, and they were actually together. I called another institution to ask if they had a Native American chaplain, and they said no. Chaplain there, the head chaplain there, and I said, well, we're also looking for a Protestant chaplain. He said, well, I'm retiring, and I could even start now. And so there we are. And then we did find a Native American chaplain, and he told us some very interesting stories. I'd like to share those stories. Maybe we'll have to do that in another video because I'm at my destination. So they're cute stories, interesting stories. I know Rabbi Bart Tzadok inside says, you know, that there's nothing wrong with, you know, sharing the spirituality of some of these other groups and noting the similarities between them. I mean, I remember years and years ago, the Rav saying something about how by the Umas Ha'olam there's no such concept of Nida. And I said, I'm not so sure of that. I remember reading Rabbi Hertz said that they did have such a concept, just it was different, whatever. And similar. So the apparently they were telling me today in their group, the Native Americans, that they have it's even much stricter than ours in certain ways. And the fact of the matter is that Muslims also have similar rules and so forth. So, well, thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, it's kedai for Rabbanim to be educated, to know, you know, not to assume that, you know, not to say, at least don't say something if you don't know it to be true. Maybe I do the same thing, but you know, he said, you know, but they don't have any such hasaga, and the fact of the matter is they do. So, and there are more similarities than differences than we think. You know, it's not to say that you know, we have the full truth. You know, I know, you know, like Fulton Sheen used to say something like that. He said he believes his religion has the full pie, but all the other religions have a piece of the pie. They might even have like 90% of the pie. But everybody has a piece, you know. And so I, of course, disagree with him that it's his religion that's the whole pie. I think my religion has the whole pie. But again, we all have pieces. And even the thing is that as much as I believe my religion has the whole pie, I don't believe we all live up to that. So nobody does. So, thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, subscribe, comment.